They teach more than 130,000 motorists every year, and as well as being the biggest, they claim to be the best, with a pass rate 20% above the national average. So you book one of the country's finest, and then you put the hours in, mastering the hill start, doing the odd three-point turn, and a little bit of parking, and then you wait patiently for the big day. And all that's standing in the way is you and your driving skills. Well, that's the theory. You all right there, mate? Personal fitness trainer Tom McClintock's driving skills were never in doubt. Well, he had paid BSM £1,700 for 70 hours of tuition. And when the week of his test came, he made sure he was fully prepared.
I was so committed and dedicated to passing that I did 10 hours that week. I went to bed early every night. I didn't train all week just in case I could put failing down to my legs being too tired. I'd done everything within my power to be ready for 9:17 on the 15th of October.
The big day came and Tom turned up at the test centre, having done some last-minute brushing up on the highway code. Unfortunately, BSM hadn't.
We went with the assessor to the car, and then I hear a bit of chatting going on by the tax disc, and then I look over and I hear the assessor say, "We can't go out like this."
Yes, BSM had broken one of the code's fundamental rules, brought a car with an out-of-date tax disc. It would have been illegal for Tom to have driven it, let alone take his test in it.
It was just shock and disbelief that the biggest driving school in the country provided me with a car that didn't have a valid tax disc on it.
Well, at least there's one good thing about Tom's story. BSM sent a car and an instructor to the test centre on the day, but for another learner driver, BSM didn't send anything at all. Nathan Picajago was the learner. His mum Karen booked a test through BSM for the 5th of October. Nathan arrived on time, but there was no sign of the instructor or his BSM car.
I was supposed to turn up at 10:15, and 10:15, then it went to 10:30, and then I started to worry, obviously. I was thinking, well, you know, am I ever going to pass my driving test? You know, am I ever going to get to do it?
BSM say their instructor did send a text message notifying them that he couldn't make the test, but Nathan believed another instructor would take his place.
So I felt powerless because I couldn't do anything. But I just keep ringing BSM up and see what I was doing.
In desperation, Nathan phoned his girlfriend to see if he could take the test in her car instead.
I think I got insured on that car about 5 minutes before my test, literally. It was just a horrible day, really, horrible morning.
Despite it all, Nathan did pass his test. His mum, though, had a tough time getting her money back from BSM, and even when they did pay up, they kept a £10 administration fee.
I don't really think that they care, which is worse, really, because since this has happened, nobody will get back to you when they say they do. Nobody will take any responsibility for anything, and their attitude's really just arrogant.
So why were BSM slow to accept responsibility? Was it something to do with the way the company's set up? You see, many of their drivers don't actually work for them. Instead, they're franchisees paying a fee in return for BSM-branded cars and pupils. Well, could this explain some of the other problems we've been hearing about? Problems like consistency. Manny Rahela has been offered 3 instructors in just 6 weeks.
I think the change of instructors was a problem because I learned something and there is a break in my learning process because I have to start again with a new instructor. He needs to understand me and I need to understand his techniques. Every individual is different, so what am I losing? I'm losing my plan of learning and my money.
Bad experiences all, but BSM says occasional mistakes do occur. After all, they teach thousands of people every week. Perhaps it's no wonder why so many learner drivers go to them. They are the biggest, and apparently, according to their website, plenty of people pass with them. 1 every 6 seconds. Is that even possible? I asked a mathematician.
If BSM say 1 every 6 seconds, that means it's 10 every minute, 600 in an hour, and if you assume that the test centres are open just 6 hours a day, that would be 3,600 per day, and if they're only open for 250 days of the year, then that makes it 900,000 over the year. But the Driving Standards Agency say there's only 700,000 pass in total, so 1 every 6 seconds. It's obviously ridiculous, it's quite impossible.
Thank you, John. Well, there might be some good news for BSM. Tom McClintock is returning home after taking his test. This time the car was taxed, the exam finally went ahead, and...
That's the best ever.
I would have liked to have done it weeks ago, but it's out of the way now and it's finished, so brilliant. Get on with driving.
Well done, Tom. Drive carefully. Now, BSM say they weren't trying to mislead people with that website statistic. Instead, it was caused by an administrative error.
Yeah, but it took Watchdog to point it out.
It certainly did. And as for the other learners we featured, BSM have apologised to Tom, who you've just seen there. But this afternoon, they have told us that they do dispute some of the detail of the other cases.
How many times did you have to take your test?
Twice, because I wasn't aware...
Twice.
Twice, because I wasn't aware of a blind spot, or what it is. And you?
I passed first time. What about you, Matt?
Second time. First time I got distracted.